Motion H and H to put the 20 as amended. Thank you, Dave. Second? Discussion.
For our new members' benefit, and I guess for just my members to go, I'd like to review the history on this. So what my recollection is, and let me know whether I have it right. This position was added last year in anticipation of this year. It was added last year because we had eliminated courtesy busing. And when I asked about it last year, the explanation I recall was that because of the anticipation of additional student drivers to the school, we needed this position in order to direct traffic. And this was, when we eliminated courtesy busing, it was round numbers, remembering what the exact number is, about 400 students in Mendham High School, plus courtesy busing, about 40 in Central High School. So my recollection is that we added this position, and then we heard from members of the community in Washington Township say that I think it was less than a dozen of those 40 that lost courtesy busing are licensed to drive, and they were looking for parking spots for them. So I think what we did was add this position at Central High School because we had an additional handful of student drivers.
We added it because we lost the facilities manager.
Let me get the context. I think what you've said, about half of it is applicable to this. What had happened as part of the cuts last year, we cut a facilities monitor in each school so that that position was eliminated. And part of the savings before that was the fact that the facilities monitors in each school were being paid benefits and were being paid a salary. So in conjunction with the loss of courtesy busing, when we had tuition students that came into the district, and when I asked the principals what would it be that they would most likely restore, the interesting thing they said was they need some help in controlling the parking lots. Not just for courtesy busing, but for instance, the addition of the 3 extra hours per day that we've added with Mr. Zoke at Mendham High School. The last drug bust that happened at Mendham High School happened because Mr. Zoke was able to see those students in the parking lot during lunch. And so the requests have come from the principals saying this has been an hourly cost. It was a position that was eliminated, added to the courtesy busing issue. Could we, especially since the money wasn't coming out of district budgeted funds, it was coming out of tuition funds, could we please increase that? So we increased the hours at Mendham High School to the hours that you see here. And the request from Central was for only an additional half an hour in addition to what's already there. But in both cases, it was an issue of safety and security, partially courtesy busing, but in addition to that, control of the parking lots because of the loss of an administrator with the cuts and the loss of this position as a full-time position last year.
And was that facilities monitor position that was lost do more than direct traffic in the parking lot?
Yes, absolutely.
And does this individual do more than?
Yes.
Maybe it would help me, maybe I'll help Marcia to describe what the job is.
Sure. Well, I can tell you there was an accident here at Central just this week, and it was a matter of this person helping the ambulance come in and making sure that people and the police were notified and that sort of safety. In addition to that, keeping a watch over the parking lot during lunch so that students don't leave. In addition to that, when you've got buses coming in, athletic buses, being able to direct them in so that they know where to go and where to park, while at the very same time you've got a large number of students leaving. So
it is entirely outdoors in the parking lot?
It's mostly indoors in the parking lot, but I think that in addition, that during lunchtime, it's been in various places at the request of the principal.
Sorry, Mark, I just have one more question. You had mentioned an accident here. I understand that James Boyd, who was a student at high school, was hit by a car in the parking lot in March, maybe?
I don't know.
If you're not aware of that?
No.
At Mendham High School.
Okay.
James Boyd, and that no one was there to call for help for the ambulance. He called his mother on a cell phone, and his mother called 911, and he ended up in the hospital. He didn't
No. No, what time?
I don't know what day it was.
I mean, was school in session?
It was, Susan, you know what?
After school on a Thursday.
After school, while the students were forming out.
What, do you know what time?
And after departure, after
So after the end of the school day, this person wouldn't be there at the end of the school day. Remember, we eliminated the position and cut the number of hours.
I've seen the principal and vice principal in many high school parking lot when the students are driving.
There are principals in the school are there also.
So they'll fulfill that role.
They've tried, but remember, we also cut an administrator at each school.
They're all filling multiple roles.
There's a big parking lot, and there's a lot of business public, so I know just from this year alone, I do see when I'm going out, I see a lot less. Like before, there was always, because there's like the lower lot, first lot, and upper lot, and normally administrator or someone in each of those lots, and I see a lot less than that.
And, you know, I've received requests from the principals to increase the number of teachers that are available for lunch duty. It's just not in the budget right now. I need to try to find the extra funds for that, for safety and security. Did I answer that question?
Yeah, thanks.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Full business.
Actually, before you go on, I just wanted to apologize. I had asked at the last meeting Dr. Lee to give a presentation on special ed, and I had worked very hard with Dr. Hunter today, and she was going to give a presentation on curriculum, and I forgot, and she's going to do it at the next meeting at a more appropriate time. Dr. Hunter, I apologize.
That's something that's necessary.
Yeah. Okay.
And only I forgot to pull business
Yes,
off
sir.
number 5, so that you can discuss that, but you can
I can do
discuss
that.
the transfer report.
Is there old business?
Yeah, it's already. Last meeting, Mr. Butler had requested a budget transfer report, and I indicated to the board that there's a report that comes out of the accounting system that I provided to you. It's on the back of the board secretary's report. It's a one-page summary that I signed off on that simply shows the what the transfer effective penalty is. Now, from it's at a very high level. It's at the advertised state budget level. This is what the state requires us to do. When you look at that report, you can see we're very effective in our budgeting because we don't transfer much above 2% in any of those categories. And that's all I want to say about it. But I also want you to know that there were some additional reports that were requested that I have provided to Mr. Button in hard copy tonight, and I have copies of those. And the reason I didn't send them out to everybody is because you have one of them right there. It's about 225 pages. This document has the account expenditures from 2002, 2003 up till 07, 08. And so I have copies here for anybody that would like to take one home with them. I just want to make sure you all have an opportunity to see that. And the other is on the other expenditure report that I sent out. I was able to sort it by location and by budget unit within location. And again, I have copies of that for any board member who's interested in that. That's all I have on that.
I just wanted to apprise the board of work on the Educational Summit, which is taking place on Tuesday, June 14th. At this point, the letters have gone out to the mayors, the vice mayors, municipal council members, board presidents and vice presidents and superintendents of the K-8. You received a copy of the agenda in the board packet. Today, last week, I met with the mayors of Chester, Mayor Conger and Mayor Davis. We went over the agenda. They were very appreciative and gave me some input. On Wednesday of this week, I will be meeting with Mayor Henry and Mayor Ciocchettini to go over the agenda also and provide them with some of the data that they've been asked for. And then I will also have a meeting with Mayor Short. In addition to that, I'm going to meet with the K-8 superintendents, provide them with these background packets of information in preparation for the summit. I will also provide a paper copy for every member of the board within about a week or so when I finish getting the photocopying done.
Of that binder?
Yes, and for members of the public, I will PDF. Any questions?
The mood of the summit.
It was interesting. I felt that the meeting with the mayors of Chester was wonderful. They were very appreciative that everything that anyone had asked to put onto the agenda or to be asked and considered was on there. They were also very, very appreciative that Dr. Librera has agreed to do this and would moderate it for us. He asked me to remind the board and to continue to tell all the mayors that this is historic, that it has never happened in the history of our district, where all of the mayors and all of the K-8 boards and all of the council members and all of the superintendents have sat at the same table and had a discussion about the future of the district.
Public, we open the public.
Excuse me?
Is it coming to the open?
The meeting is open to the public. It will be on the Mendham High School auditorium, beginning at 6:45. Mr. Morel, you had asked for a copy of the agenda, so I have one for you right now.
If it's on the website, the PDF is
It
fine.
hasn't been yet, because I still would like to meet with the mayors and get a little bit more input from them, but I have a paper copy of a working agenda.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any other old business? Yes.
I'm not sure whether this is old business or new business or it fits into the topic that Anthony just mentioned, but you can cut me off if it doesn't fit now. There have been a lot of comments tonight and by our board president and the press and others of the meeting about, and, you know, members of the public, CBS and I, and statements I've made during the campaign about the ranking of our schools. Tonight we heard, I heard for the first time about a Washington Post ranking, and Kristen has referred to, I think it's the Newsweek ranking, and I mentioned New Jersey Monthly, as well as some SAT scores at the last meeting. I know it would be helpful for me, perhaps the rest of the board would like to see, maybe as part of this binder, if not just circulated to the board, all of these rankings that everybody's talking about and the basis that is used to clear it. I certainly would be interested in seeing anything you have on the relative standing of our schools.
I can tell you that I'm not aware of the Washington Post. Mike, do you know if that's the result of the very newest?
It's
It's Jay Matthews?
yeah, it's Matthews. It's the challenge ranking.
But the newest challenge ranking?
Yeah, they just came out with it this past weekend,
Okay.
and it's unlike the New Jersey Monthly. One of the benefits of the Washington Post one is that it takes into account students who participate in the IB program and test in the IB program, the program that we value.
And Dr. Hunter, so this one is not the one that you were,
That we always do, but this is the one that we submitted the information to.
The
Right,
last
that was the
one.
Washington Post, and then we just got the Newsweek to submit information to.
okay. So I think that there's a couple of pieces of this. I actually had put together a handout that I was giving during budget season about relative rankings, which I'll give you a copy of. Okay. In addition to that, what you've got is a sense that there are a couple of different ranking organizations that use a different set of metrics. The most significant one, the one that you've been interested in, has been New Jersey Monthly.
Well, I'm saying right now, I'm interested in all of them, and not just the conclusions, but I'm interested in looking at the rankings and the description of, how they do the calculation.
I would
Perhaps
love-
other board members are or not, I don't know, but I'm asking for copies of
I'll
them.
give you a report on it. We'll do that in the summer.
Newsweek is all online, you can just Google it and pull it up.
And I think that what's significant about it is that I've had conversations with the New Jersey Monthly editor, and he has admitted to me that we can't do an apples to apples because of the fact that IB is so much a part of this school, and there's not enough schools there. So I think that that skews the New Jersey Monthly rankings a little bit, especially